Hello, good morning. This is Commander Luther McCain. This is actually, I guess, the second or third video to Elite Dangerous, so apologies if it's not perfect. I want to show you a quick way that I'm using at the moment, first of all, to farm some reputation at the superpowers, secondly, to farm my combat rank, and thirdly, actually, to get some decent money in some relatively quick time. So what I've done, though, I've traveled to the rescue ship in to the Tsao prospect in Lembass, which is currently under attack by the Thargoids. So you won't have a station here. The only station here is currently damaged and on fire. You can certainly run some rescue missions there. That's in a different video. But today I'm going to show you some quick run on some scout killing missions. So the interesting point is if you've actually gotten your reputation at the local powers here in a high level, and you can certainly achieve that with rescue missions, which I've shown in another video. If you go to the mission board, you will see actually that there are destroy Thargoid South threats in there, and you usually get something about like 1 million to 3-4 million per mission. So accept those, and it's just for the scout threats. Don't take anything for the interceptors or anything higher than that. Just the scouts. You see, though, for example, there's a 3 million payment here for that one. My ship is a Conda build with 4 AX turrets on a large mount. It's not very special, in fairness. It has certainly the hull improvements that you'd need for battling Thargoids, and certainly as well the additional elements that you require, like a big power plant, etc. So, but it's not necessarily different from the perspective of I'm not using any sort of guardian weapons or something like that. So the interesting point in Lembass is actually that you have an anti-Xeno conflict zone pretty close by. So you don't need to travel far. Just don't go to the mission signals. Just go to the conflict zone, because the interesting point here on these scout missions is that any scout that you kill counts. And interestingly, even though you have 3 missions at the same time, every one scout kill counts for all of the 3 missions. So I'm showing you how quick that goes, and everyone who's saying AX turrets or AX weapons are not really making any sort of damage, I want to show you that. So just jump in here, select the scout, begin to fire. Probably just make sure you keep them under your or on your nose. Don't be afraid by that crackling sound or whatsoever. Don't be afraid of that. They're probably making a lot of noise, these scouts, but they're not really doing any certain real damage. Number 1, just make sure you boost away when they explode, because they leave that caustic stuff around. So there are always going to be like 3, 4, 5 scouts around. Some of these scouts, as this one for example, reloads his health. That's just bad luck. Just keep on targeting him. He's certainly going to explode. No worries. Again, just make sure you boost away when you see them explode. If you suddenly see that your radar becomes empty, you're probably gone too far away from the combat zone. So just get it back into your radar and boost there, and then you'll get the next. Actually, this is a pretty relaxed way of doing this, because the scouts, as I said, don't actually do any certain damage to you. Just go there, keep them somewhere in your target. And again, don't get yourself troubled or shocked when they are telling you something about warning, you know, caustic missile or whatsoever. It's not really hurting, right? I mean, even the caustic stuff, if you have decent hull protection, it shouldn't necessarily give you any sort of pain, and even then it's 1 or 2%. What I'm doing in addition, I have a decontamination limpet controller. You probably will see this now. So I've got hit by a caustic missile. Again, don't be afraid by that. So that was mission number 1. I'm just going to launch a decon drone, waiting until she attaches, and then you can actually continue to fight. What's actually pretty frightening here is just the sound, right? Because sometimes they actually hide away from you. So that was mission number 2. These folks that are fighting around here are pretty scared, obviously, because their radio and communication sounds to be pretty awkward. Again, don't let yourself to be scared by that shit. And again, if you suddenly get one of these caustic missiles, launch a drone. Just make sure you have nothing in your target, because these decontamination limpets are actually neutralizing the caustic damage on the ship that you target. So when you target a scout actually and you launch that drone, it's going to fly towards the scout. So don't wonder why that drone is not doing anything. The only tricky thing with scouts is actually to ensure you keep them in range. They are trying to fly away from time to time. Actually, what I found interesting as well is if you are suddenly flying through that caustic stuff that they leave behind, if you boost away from that, it's obviously neutralizing that. So I never get any sort of hit even through I'm flying through it. I'm not sure if this is really the case, or if it's just because you're boosting away too fast. One thing that you'd need to bear in mind, specifically when you are in combat zones, in the first time let's say in the first kind of 6 minutes, you would get certainly only scouts here, which are easy to kill, and again, they don't do any damage. Now you've heard target interceptors are jumping in. Now be careful of those. They are not the easy ones. And what you will hear now is energy surge detected. Now you can either launch your neutralizer, or you just simply get yourself locked in here. Go get a cup of coffee. Let them just shoot you. They're not going to hurt you. Where are they? Where are you? It must be somewhere around here. Ah, there he is. What you need to be careful of is a swarm. So make sure that when you get in range of the swarm, or the swarm is trying to hurt you, make sure you boost away. Don't actually battle the swarm without a proper ship. Again, we're focusing on the scouts. Let the rest of the crap not worry you. Yeah, and for some it may probably sound crazy now because you have so many things going on at the same time. Your ship is shaking, you know, from all that kind of stuff. I think the best recommendation here is just simply stay calm and don't be worried. And if you're truly feeling it's getting too scary for you, jump out, jump back in again and start from scratch. What else do I have left? How many? 3 more. Three more to go. I'll probably still have some. There's a swarm, so let's avoid the swarm. Any further scouts in here? Oh, there's a scout. There he is. Well, there's the interceptor behind you, so you need to be a little bit careful here and actually not flying in front of the interceptor. He may probably badly hurt your hull. So that was one caustic missile. There's another one coming, so I presume that's the swarm targeting me. So we need to be a little bit careful of that. Let's boost away and get it. Lembass drone launched. I'm actually doing all this with one hand, so I think apart from just trying to stay abreast of what's happening. Come on, give me the credit for this one. This one has only 2%. I want it! Come on. Sounds like the interceptor. Whoop. Sorry, buddy. Guess there's nothing left than the interceptor now. I'd leave that to the other ships. So unfortunately there's probably not enough scouts left, so let me jump out and jump back in again. That's kind of a problem though if you accept too many scout missions, or sometimes they may say that you'd need to kill like 12, 13 scouts, which is not necessarily an issue, but the only problem is that the AX zones sometimes don't have enough scouts, and it's really random. So from time to time you may find 16 or more scouts in there. Sometimes you will find that there are more interceptors actually. There you go. There's my last buddy.
This system is crawling with Thargoids. If we don't push them back, we'll be overrun. Think you can handle it?
Actually, if you're only looking for farming your battle rank and farming your reputation at the superpower, you can actually do this, like jump out, jump in again. When you see the interceptors jump in, jump out, jump back in again, and start from scratch. So this one is one who actually recharges. You see that? Oh, that's pretty stupid. Die! Come on! Alright. Okay. So that was the last one for the last mission. Alright. And again, the what's pretty nice here is that your mission giver, the rescue ship, is very close by, so you don't really need to travel that far away. It's pretty close. You don't even need an auto or super pilot cruise assist for this. So for my combat rank, it gave me 4 or 5% for that mission. Certainly if you're higher in rank, it will take longer. And for the superpower reputation, yeah, it's about 5% as well. If you're tough enough to kill the interceptors, it's as well a pretty easy way of forming your rank and forming your reputation. However, the interceptors, I mean, it's just the sheer amount of kills that count. So for the interceptors, if you're killing one, it's not like counting like 10 scouts or something, unfortunately. And if you do this in a wing, you even share that, so... And just by the way, I'm using this night view vision because it's easier to identify the scouts on the black background of space. So... let's just get the payment. 1 million for this. Another 1 million for this. 3 million for this. And don't forget to collect your combat bonds. Another 500,000. So again, sometimes it depends. You may be lucky and get 3 missions for 3 million, so you could easily make 10 million in maybe 10 minutes or something, right? So I used a lot of explanation here, so that could be done quicker. So I hope that gave you an impression how quick that goes. I think the only prerequisite here is that you get your rank up first, because you won't get these missions if you are if you're in a low rank here or a low reputation with the local power. You probably need to be allied with them. The easiest way is to form that is by running some rescue missions with a transport with a couple of large economy class cabins and fly to the station. So I hope that helped you and it gave you an idea how to do the scout stuff. My ship, just going to show you that quickly. As I said, it's not really a really complicated build. If you have an Anaconda left, you probably may have, if you had sort of several builds previously. I had one left that I've previously used for combat, which I've now exchanged by a Corvette. So what I'm using here for the hard points, I have 3 AX cannons on turrets. I have actually nothing underneath that. You can probably put like the modified multi-cannons with AX munition. Utility stuff, shield boosters of course, your Xeno scanner. You can use your shutdown field neutralizer. For the core tunnels, thrusters, power plant, you know, up in the air. A power distributor, which I've actually optimized to systems. And as optionals, I presume, you know, what you need for, you know, fighting the Thargoids. Use Holland reinforcements, modified to heavy duty. I use a Guardian Shield reinforcement package, not necessary, but helps. And that's pretty much it. So, thank you for watching, and bye-bye.